Hello PPL fans, my name is Shroomraver, one of your analysts for the returning season of the Pokemon Premier League. Very exciting stuff, and today we are kicking off some coach interviews with the one and only pokeaim, coach of the LA Wakers. Pokeaim, good to see you. How you doing, man?
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here. Been excited to get back in the draft ever since the timer's been fixed. This is my second draft league of Scarlet and Violet, and I'm really hoping just for a good time and some fun moments.
Excellent. Yeah, the timer being fixed has been a big thing. A lot of people are mentioning that. Good to have that back.
Yeah, 100%.
So, most of you watching will know Pokeaim, but just for those who are a little bit unaware, do you want to just give us a brief rundown of your draft league career?
Alright, so I've been uploading on my channel since 2010, and I play competitive Pokemon. I have a lot of fun doing it. And my first draft league ever was in 2015. I was invited into the UCL with some big name YouTubers who are not on this platform anymore for good reason. And that was actually my first win of a draft league as well. So I won that. I played my boy A-Drive in finals. I also won the, I believe the UCL Little Cup. I also played A-Drive, I believe, in finals of that as well. And I think since then I've gotten to basically playoffs of every draft league I've been in. So far, maybe a final or two appearance. I don't know if I've won any since that, but I've definitely gotten to playoffs / semis of basically all of them, I think. I really enjoy draft. I love the mons I use, and I have probably the most broken help when it comes to draft league, like Dylan and Zazo, and the list continues. So some big Mount Rushmore of draft league, so it definitely helps a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, and I try for this season and for my last season, I'm trying my best to do really high quality draft league videos, because I believe it should not only be an entertaining battle, but the video should look good. So that's what I'm trying to do my best and trying to grow the draft league scene.
Absolutely. Always good to get those really high quality stuff going. Now, you mentioned a couple of coach names there. Now, it's no lie to say that some of the coaches this season have name dropped you as something of a threat, unsurprisingly. Any of the coaches here that you're particularly excited to play against, or indeed any that you're really dreading having to go against?
Dreading, no, but excited for sure. Numb Nexus is probably always my favorite to battle, just because I love his reactions. In fact, he's my, I like to do watch together, so I actually like to watch and stream the games that happen, and he's my favorite commentary by far. But obviously I also want to get my revenge on MV and Mephisto, because they beat me in the last draft league I was in. So that's the big ones, and there's a lot of new faces that I haven't played, and also Lars, I haven't played him in forever either, so it'll be cool to play Lars again as well, Drew. I'm just excited. There's so many names here that I haven't played in a long time. Also, I know there's some really good players. Mount is super strong. That's what I've heard a lot about him. And I know he's also Zazo's favorite Wi-Fi battler draft league. So I'm excited to play him. Honestly, everybody. I think everybody has some really cool teams. And I also took a really different approach this week. I don't know how much we're allowed to talk about what we drafted here, but I took a very different approach.
Yeah, I think it's known that sort of draft is going on behind the scenes. Don't give too much away about your team, because I'm sure there'll be videos on that, but I've seen there are some pretty crazy drafts out there.
Yeah, and I tried to take a different approach this time. Basically, not to give anything away, but I did not give up power for a bad rapid spinner, I would say. That's what I said.
Excellent. On that note, over your time playing Draft League, we've seen you get the best out of just all kinds of playstyles, all kinds of Pokemon, everything from Corviknight to Comfey we've seen you use. Is there a main Pokeaim playstyle that you would be going for, or is it just take it as it comes?
So I typically like a balanced type of team where I have some offense and some defensive backbones. I think Gen 9 is a little bit different though, because hazard control in Gen 9 is really bad, right? If you're not one of the Donphan family or Corviknight, you're not good hazard control.
Yeah.
In my opinion. So because SV is such an offensive meta game, I'll probably tend to lead towards more offensive this time. Even if I do have defensive Pokemon, they might even just run more offensive, just because I think this game is about speed, and also just about getting up hazards and going from there, and just keeping up as much momentum as possible. Because there's so many offensive threats. There's so many, like, there's everything, right? Like, I'm glad we banned Palafin from this one because,
Yeah.
God, I did not want to fight that. That's part of where I drafted that last time.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so that's basically it. So, more offensive, I think, no, is what we'll be doing this time. But, I mean, I always tend to make a Pokemon bulky because I like doing that. So, we'll see. But I am definitely leaning towards more offensive overall and just straight up power and hitting hard.
Yeah, that checks out. I mean, speaking of some of those mons, again, without going into too much of who's drafted what at this time, any mons that you're most excited to see take part this season? Either like new ones or old ones with a new lease of life?
No, all the Asuians, for sure. That's definitely it. Like, part of the reason why I like to play Wi-Fi or for Draft League is because I loved Wi-Fi battling, and it's kind of where I grew up on YouTube and everything with Wi-Fi battling. We don't do a lot of it these days, and there are some people who still do, but ever since we got a 20-minute timer, it kind of like died down because, you know, I want to be able to battle and feel satisfied by the end of the battle, and 20 minutes is not usually enough to feel satisfied. So I'm excited for this, and I'm just excited to see the Mons play because they also feel like really, it's kind of like, and this is also why I don't like double pools, like double drafting pools, because, you know, if I have LeBron on my team, you shouldn't have LeBron either. You know what I mean? Like, there shouldn't be two LeBrons. So it feels really like personal with these Mons. Like, yeah, this is my Comfy, this is my Espathra, this is my Palafin that's been putting in work. This is how I use Palafin. Like, I've been rooting for Palafin every week, you know? That's why I like that, so I'm really excited for that. And I'm really also just excited to just see all these Hisuian Pokemon just putting work on Wi-Fi.
Yeah, a few people have been mentioning that the Hisuian ones, very excited to see them. In terms of other exciting things, you mentioned a lot of the coaches that are taking part. Would you say you have a main rival? You've said quite a few people who you're looking to sort of get revenge on or have another great battle with. Is there a main rival that you're really out to beat?
I guess me and Envy always go back and forth, but that's less about us and more about the comment section that we want to beat each other, because draft comment section can bring out, just like sports, can bring out the rudest people. Yeah. So, but that's, you know, part of doing what you do and choosing to upload what you use or what you play. So I guess Envy, in a sense, maybe. Not really though. Like, I honestly, I love seeing my friends do well, and I just want to win as much as possible so I can keep uploading it as much as possible, right? If you don't make it to playoffs, you miss out on 3 games, 4 games, whatever it is, depending on it. So, and I like being able to use my team, especially because the more you play with a team, the better you get with it, because you start to get comfier and comfier, and that's ideally what I want.
Yeah, I like that. Definitely like that. So, as we've mentioned, long and illustrious career. Just on a personal note, is there any one career moment from your time playing that you would pick out as like your personal highlight? It's a difficult one to throw in just suddenly, isn't it?
Very hard as well, because like I would say when I won the UCL, but like it was 9 a.m. when I played and I was exhausted, and I kind of just ended, I was like, yeah, I won, and I ended the video, right? I feel like I was more hype about this. I don't know. It's really hard. When it comes to draft, it's very, very hard. I've always loved the Mons I picked for the most part, and I always try to use them even if they're bad. Like, even if I was trading them away for free agency, I always use them in at least one battle. So whenever a Pokemon I bring that I don't expect to be as good as it is, I guess you could say my, like, not really a moment, but just in general, my Hawlucha from last season of the BBR. That was a pick I got because I got sniped on Pelipper plus Dreadnought, and that Lucha ended up being like definitely a top 5 member on my team the entire season. So like seeing something that you didn't expect to happen work out well, is always really, really excited about that. But I mean, winning the UCL season 1 was also a lot for me because it was my first draft league, so it was cool to be able to win the original.
Oh yeah,
that thing that got me started.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Well, last thing that I'd like to ask of you, have you got any kind of message that you want to say to your fans of your team, and also any new fans? There's going to be probably new people coming in for the new season. Any message to your current fans and to the new fans of why they should be following you specifically?
Well, I mean, I think it's going to be a good time. I think I have a nice little mixture of entertainment plus you actually get to learn from it. And I also like to do a lot now that I'm back in Draft League. I'll have live streams every week called Watch Togethers, where we'll be watching the games happening. I'll probably also do, even though I'm sure the editors and everybody will be doing their own pick'ems, I'll also be doing my own pick'ems live on stream because I like to invite the viewers as well. We do have, you know, there'll be a Discord server for the PPL, but I like to talk with them and see why they actually think that and do the voting. And I'll be putting up high quality videos. That's all my goal is for this, and just to grow the draft league. Ideally, everybody who's in this draft league grows in their channel as well, and that's what I'm just hoping for. And then we'll go on to the next draft league, and we'll keep growing and growing and growing and growing. That's all we want.
Heck yeah,
But,
fantastic. Love to hear that. So, a lot of high quality stuff coming out, a lot of interaction. Let's get behind pokeaim. And yeah, that's going to pretty much wrap things up from here. So, pokeaim, thank you ever so much for joining me today. And absolutely best of luck with the season. Looking forward to seeing what you got.
Much. I appreciate it, and thank you for your time.
Yeah, not at all. So yeah, that's going to wrap things up from this interview. Thanks everyone for joining us. All the social media links that you'll need for the coaches and for various content we've got going up will be down in the description below. Make sure you check all of that out. And all the other coach interviews I'm sure you can find coming up pretty soon as well. But yeah, we're going to get out of here. Final thank you to you all for watching, and we will see you next time. Laters.